Welcome back to another week's episode of Three Simple Men Making Their Way Through the Galaxy. I'm Tom. It's Ryan and Mike. We're back in the Clone Wars again. We're in the second season. And boys, we're going back to where it all began. We're invading Geonosis.
Again. And as Obi-Wan put, I cannot believe we're back here again.
And this is the episode Landing at Point Rain, Season 2, Episode 5.
Wow.
It gave me a lot of DJ vibes.
Just like seeing the Battle of Geonosis in Episode 2, and then the fact that they're going back and doing this whole campaign, and this is only the first episode. I think this is like a 3 or 4, so we've got a lot of Geonosis action coming up ahead of us, fellas.
It's fun. I like that we're back here. You know, we got a little teaser the previous episode with Poggle the Lesser. So it's fun to kind of be back on Geonosis with the bugs, right? They call them that a lot this episode, which was fun. We do get our starting quote as always. In this case, it's believe in yourself or no one else will. I don't know, kind of a throwaway quote, but whatever. It didn't seem very gripping to the episode. This was just
that sounds like something a high school guidance counselor would tell you. Believe in yourself. Nothing else matters. Like, you can do anything you want.
It's a fun episode, right? It's a fun like war invasion episode. It's also got a very dark undertone that they don't really, they kind of laugh. They laugh about it. It's literally a joke, but like Anakin and Ahsoka are counting bodies. They have like a body count.
So
kills a kill count.
We're talking about this episode. I mean, going fast forward into the episode, you see what they encounter is a bridge, and they keep counting. You know what I thought to myself? That was a similarity of that was Legolas and Gimli and the Battle of Helm's Deep. Legolas, I've killed 2 already. I'm on 17. I'm not going to let some pointy-eared elf outscore me. There was another one. You hear them going 3, 4.
22 or whatever it was, yeah. Oh my God.
This is I probably quoted that actually word for word. If I didn't, let me know.
So, the question I have is, and for the most part, at least on the bridge, we have Anakin and Ahsoka, or the wall, whatever it is, taking out droids, right? But we do see General Kiadi Mundi, which was fun, taking out a lot of the locals, right? The Genosians.
Is this the first time that we have ever seen a flamethrower used in the Clone Wars?
More importantly, are we not going to acknowledge the fact that, like, with flamethrowers and everything that the Republic's done, are they committing a lot of war crimes?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. It's like, yeah, you got him like bringing the flames.
Also, isn't Kiadi Mundi one of the Jedi Masters who has multiple wives because his species is kind of dying out? Like, they need to repopulate. So this
might not be canon. Not canon. I gotta go the canon flag.
More importantly, he's famous for this one quote. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Yeah.
I know I'm jumping ahead here, but
the thing I wanted to touch on with the kill count, like, it's one, what do you guys think about the fact that, like, it's one thing when they're killing droids, but now it's a little different because now they're killing, they call them bugs, right? They dehumanize them, but they're sentient being, right? They're living creatures now that are being killed.
You're throwing it into the question
almost a little darker.
You're throwing it into the question of, do the Jedi actually value all living beings? Droids is one thing because they're programmed. They're not human form. But now we're talking about bug species. It's very... I feel like they're treating them maybe like second-class citizens in a sense where it's just like, since you're with the enemy, we disacknowledge you being truly knowledgeable life forms because
Yeah. I mean, it's a game to them. And at one point, we get a glimmer of hope, or maybe a, a little evidence of like what the Jedi used to be with Obi-Wan, right? He kind of calls out Anakin and he's like, you put this down into a game, you've made this a game? And you kind of think for a second, like, ooh, all right, yeah, Obi-Wan's, and then like, yeah, that's right, the older Jedi, like they know, but then Mundi goes and just goes along with the joke kind of and says like, I got 65. Like, what do I win? And it's just, you know, it I can say that, it's an animated cartoon, which we try to avoid, and that it's like for kids, and them joking about it is just kind of like making light of it. So it's not dark and, getting serious, but it's kind of crazy. I mean, they're bragging about who could kill more or defeat more enemies, and it's definitely dark if you really look into it.
I mean, that's something like in like you see in like war movies, like what's your kill count? What's how especially when I think of like Enemy at the Gates with Jude Law being the Russian sniper who's killed. Oh, he killed about 50 German generals. He killed about 100 lieutenants and all that stuff. When in battle, the only thing that matters is the only thing that keeps morale is kill counts, apparently.
Yeah, and then with also some other movies and stuff, you'll see like people having trophies for the kill count. I'm trying to think of like maybe Inglorious Bastards with the whole like I
A
forget about
hundred,
that.
100 Nazi dead scalps.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
Aldo Rain,
well,
yeah.
that's more of a
Well, I know it's like a contract, but I mean
that's a
that
contract. That's more of like an oath. Like you owe me because
yeah. Yeah, I mean you got kill
he's
counts,
taken like
trophies,
a
or
group
like
of either German, Austrian Jews or American Jews and bring them in to kill the Nazis. He's like, since I'm letting you do this, you owe me a debt.
yeah.
That's like
They
the John
had the
Cena.
taking it back to the Clone Wars, or an very early episode. We had the when they were looking for the traitor of the clones, right? In that episode, we have the one clone that was collecting uh
Yeah, Beldroid.
Alroid fingers, right? As trophies. So it's definitely something that we've seen a little bit in this, and it's obviously referencing war. Like I think of the Pacific, where they're, the guys popping the gold fillings out of
Gold
the,
teeth, the gold teeth.
yeah. So like,
I mean,
you get stuff
yeah,
like that. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to explain about it because within history, wars are kind of different because with the First World War, it was just the whole thing was trying to survive. Then the Second World War was like, especially with the Americans, oh, we got watches, we got a Luger, we got weapons, we got artwork. It's all about trophies at this point. And then kill count. I'm like, oh, how many Nazis did he kill? I mean, like actual Nazis. I'm not talking about German soldiers. I'm talking about like the guys that got the SS on them. It's in the end, war changes people. It really does because I remember seeing some clip, some video about a young Russian kid who got drafted into the war to fight the Nazis. They show him his before picture and his after picture. Dude looked like a zombie because he saw shit.
Well, we're not at that stage yet, right? We haven't seen, at least in the Clone Wars, they haven't really touched on any like PTSD or anything like that yet. And, maybe they will. I think they do. I personally, I think some of the later movies or TV series, I should say, touch on a little bit of like how people have changed and how, they're dealing with kind of what they've gone through. But right now it's a game, right? We got the two youngins,
Young
and
and ambitious.
Ahsoka just, having fun. And then to add to like kind of the war references, I don't know if you guys clocked it again, but I tend to see them every time now. The paintings on the side of the drop ships,
Oh
uh,
yeah,
some
Yeah,
different art
that,
there.
that's some nice artwork right there, you know.
Also, during the initial invasion when they're coming in, we do get a just another quote I had to bring up because it's a perfect example of famous last words. An unnamed clone in the ship says, "Good thing those bugs can't aim," and seconds later the ship
Yep,
even blows up. So
ironic.
it was
Yeah,
always fun for some famous last words. So I did catch that.
A moment of I spoke way too soon.
Yep.
yep. And then there is a callback to episode 4 of Admiral Lee Lawrence saying, "Good luck, General," and Kiadi Mundi responds saying, "There's no such thing as luck."
Yep. We caught
Ooh.
that. That was good.
Also, I think, I mean, I want to go a little fun fact. I think, I don't know if you guys heard, with one of the ships crashing, since we were talking about history, it kind of sounded like a Messerschmitt fighter flyer, a German pilot aircraft that was going a dive bomber, pretty much like a Stuka. Like,
That's what I thought when there was like that first round of like the Y wings coming in, like and dropping the bombs on the turbo lasers. I thought that was like,
that was the sound of the Stukas that were just going.
yep.
That was cool. I will honorable mention to the clones that were named this episode. I like to always do that. Obviously, we had Rex and Cody, our OGs, which is always fun. But we do get Boyle and Waxer, Trapper, and Commander Jet.
Mhm.
So, and I think we've seen Boyle and Waxer before, right? Or no?
We'll see them later on.
Later on, I was gonna say the names are very familiar. I was like, Boyle and
Were
Waxer.
they in the Ryloth campaign when Obi-Wan was like rescuing
Yeah.
the citizens?
Oh, that's
I
what it
feel
was. Yeah.
I was
Because
gonna say because I was like, I definitely remember these names.
their camo changed or their
like,
armor changed. So they
yeah,
had
that was a pretty cool outfit with the whole. I mean, when we saw the movie, you just saw the clone troopers in their basic white armor, but yeah, you got like the desert troopers or whatever you want to call it. So it was a pretty nice skin.
Oh, so I'm looking back at notes. So Trapper was in episode 44, season 18. He was part of Mace Windu's crew when they went and were climbing over the Zillow Beast before the Zillow Beast revealed itself. So we had heard of Trapper before, and then I think previously was where we got Boyle and Waxer. Yep, Boyle and Waxer were season 1, episode 20, Innocence of Ryloth. So you were right. They're part of Ghost Company.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we see the 212, the 501st, and I don't know what Kiadi's division is, but yeah, we see three generals in action, and yeah, you see that this was a bold move by the Republic to go after Geonosis, and yeah, Palpatine saying, "Isn't it risky to commit 3 generals to one attack?" And then at 1.2, when they're like, "Oh crap, we need reinforcements," Emily Lawrence like, "Oh well, I can't really sacrifice other parts of the campaign for your thing, or else we're going to lose these other parts too." So you see that they were well prepared. I mean, despite having the intel on it, they were well prepared that the Republic was coming. And
Well,
you
yeah,
see
we get one of the clones even says they knew we were coming, which
Cody, yep,
ding ding ding, who probably told everybody? Old Palps.
yep. But yeah, no, it's interesting to see like you had three different campaigns going on the ground when you had like Obi-Wan who barely made it.
like I
It's
said, D-Day vibes.
yeah, and
Anakin
then
is the Americans, Obi-Wan is the British, and Keanu Mooney is the Canadians storming the beaches of Normandy.
mhm,
But, as someone once said, the Clone Wars begun the Clone Wars have. It's, yes, they've been going on, but we're back where they all started, and it's fun to see this campaign on Geonosis take off. So I'm excited for the next few episodes. It's gonna be fun.
And you see that little banter between Obi-Wan and Cody. Just like last time I was here, I was chained up to a pole with 3 big monsters. That sounds
Hearing you,
entertaining. Yeah, it was for the Geonosians.
well, oh, it's true. It was yeah, fun throwback, fun times, and excited to see what comes. With that, Mike.
That's a wrap. Thank you everyone for joining Three Simple Men, making their way through the galaxy. Hit that like, comment, subscribe. We come back next week for some more Geonosis and Clone Wars content. May the Force be with you always.